And welcome to the show. Now, with all the ups and downs that property buying can bring, you need to do your research before bidding at auction. So follow us as we take the lottery out of buying property under the hammer. Well, buying at auction doesn't have to be a scary experience. If you do your homework and stick to your budget, you can bid with confidence. Did the buyers on today's show do that? Let's find out. Looking around a Liverpool house, it seems Dion is green with envy.
This could be amazing. I wish it were mine.
Tommy is looking down to find the ups at his Dulwich property.
Yeah, I think it'd be quite nice. So, good night, you.
And finally, I consider living the high life in this West London pad. I can see a bistro table with the chairs. All these properties have been sold at auction, and we'll find out who bought them and what they paid for them when they went under the hammer. We're heading to Liverpool, a city famous for music, football, and its iconic waterfront. And with a wave of regeneration projects poised to redevelop the city's central and northern docks, the next 10 years should see a 60-hectare site transformed into a mixed-use development with thousands of new residential homes, parks, commercial and leisure spaces. Surely all this growth should be good news for property investors? Dion's here to check out an auction lot.
The property I'm here to see is on this very busy and noisy main road. That means parking's going to be a problem, especially with double yellow lines right there. The house I'm here to see is this. It is a 3-bed mid-terrace house at an auction price of 40 grand. It's going to have to work on its curb appeal, I think. Let's see what's inside. Right, let's start with the new door, shall we, just to keep all that noise and cold out. But it feels quite spacious, nice, wide hallway. Feels cold as well, I've got to say. Good job, we've got a radiator in here. First reception room is a really good size. It's kind of quite long. You've got a nice big bay window. This just needs to be decorated throughout. Floors maybe need changing as well. Maybe put some carpet in here just to give it a bit of a warm feel. You've got a radiator in here as well. But size-wise, and what really needs to be done, I can't see a lot, which is good. Not a bad start. Okay, round the corner, there are stairs leading to the bedrooms. By the way, second reception room, a little bit smaller than the front room, as we used to call it when I was a little bit younger. It's similar condition as well, and the double glazed window looks good. There's not an awful lot to do in these two rooms, so I wouldn't stress too much. Okay, into the kitchen then. You've got a little step down, but this is bigger than what I was expecting, I've got to be honest. The kitchen itself doesn't look too bad. It's probably been here a while. You might be able to change just the doors and keep the carcasses to the kitchen itself. That'll save you a few quid. The kitchen's okay as it is, but you could put your own stamp on it.
Stamp on the ground, jump, 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 move it all around, jumping all around.
As well as letting your creativity flow with a kitchen redesign, the buyer should have the boiler checked by a professional. And if an upgrade is needed, aim to switch to a more energy-efficient heating system, like an electric boiler or even a heat pump, both of which are more environmentally friendly. Out the back, there's a small yard. It won't blow anyone away, though sprucing it up would make it more functional.
Jumping all around.
Okay. Up the very, very, very steep stairs. Gosh, these old knees are taking a bit of a battering, let me tell you. Right, we've got 3 bedrooms up here. Box bedroom, You get a single bed in here, no problem at all. Feels more of an office or a nursery. To me, you've got a good double glazed window, you've got central heating as well, but my eye is drawn to a crack right at the bottom of the of this air vent there. It goes all the way to the window, then it comes out the bottom of the windowsill as well. Textured ceilings need to come out, re-skim, carpets, because it's going to be a bedroom. Keep it nice and snuggly and get the crack checked out. You've been told.
The to-do list is tossing up. And make sure you add replacing the bathroom, as this one's in a sorry state. Luckily, the second bedroom appears to only require a bit of decoration. But can the same be said for bedroom number 3?
Okay, down the hallway to the last bedroom, the biggest bedroom at the front of the property. But my eye is drawn to a huge damp patch on that wall. There's some severe water getting in that direction there, right in the corner. Somebody's got to get that sorted before you do anything else in this room or in this house. But the room itself is absolutely massive. It's one of the biggest bedrooms I've seen in a terrace house since I've been working on the show. And you could make this whatever you wanted it to be. Even maybe just box it off here and have an ensuite if you want to go over the top, if you've got the budget to do it. But this could be amazing. I wish it were mine.
I wish you were mine. I wish you were mine. Yeah, but I wish you were mine.
For Dion, the potential beats the problems. But there is one more curveball to consider. This is a leasehold property with 106 years left on the lease, meaning there's around 20 years left before you could face issues obtaining a mortgage. So what will a local estate agent make of what's on offer? We asked one for his thoughts and valuations on this 3-bed mid-terrace, guided at £40,000.
After looking around the house, it certainly does need some work. There's a few areas of concern, particularly from the roof. There's been a big leak into the main bedroom. I think that the property needs some TLC throughout in terms of the bathroom. Kitchen as well, maybe not a full kitchen, but maybe the units need changing. I think the electrics certainly need checking. Just glance at the fuse board, it looks quite old and dated. And if there is a rewire that's needed, that needs to be done before you do any further work to the house. So all in all, a lot of TLC, but first of all, massive amount of investigation.
OK, you're going to be busy here. But once all the work has been carried out, what could the returns be?
Once renovated, my rental valuation would be £850 per calendar month, and my sales valuation would be £130,000.
So we've got a good-sized house here, just needs a full renovation from top to bottom. Couple of issues, the crack at the back of the house and that water damage at the front of the house. Get them sorted and it could be a really nice home for someone. Let's see what happened when it went to auction.
This lot was part of a remote auction with bids taking place online.
Sold.
The successful bid of £75,000 was made by Chris and his dad Simon. They've been on the show before.
Yes, I'm back, like I never left.
And since then, Chris has followed in his dad's footsteps and turned to property development full-time. What do they have in store for this project? Dion met them to find out.
Simon and Chris, good to see you again.
You too, Dion.
Good to see you.
You still at it then?
We are.
Still enjoying it?
Yeah.
So, 5 years ago maybe we met?
6 years, actually.
6 years ago.
Doesn't time fly?
Gosh, hair's not growing on you at all, is it?
Tell me about it.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, it's a hazard as you get older, it's a hazard. Listen, it's great to see you guys, and I'm glad that you're still at it. Let's start at the very beginning then. As we did last time, did you view the property?
No.
You didn't, Chris?
No.
OK, second chance. Did you read the legal pack?
No.
Oh, gosh. OK, right. Yellow card for not viewing it, first and foremost. Legal pack. Were there any surprises?
There was a lot of surprises that I wasn't expecting. I should have read the legal pack and I probably should have looked around the property first.
Yeah, because you're hands-on, Chris,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Yeah.
You're going to do the work.
Yeah.
OK, so the legal pack, what was the problem?
There were lots of restrictive covenants, Dion. Chris, not only has he paid, in my opinion, over the odds for the property, he's also had to pay the other side's legal costs, which were quite considerable. He also has a number of clauses in there, meaning that he'll have to pay 1% of the value of the property or the purchase price for every year that he owns it at the time of sale.
Wow.
Indefinitely. So if he chooses to sell it in 10 years' time, it's basically 10% of whatever he sells it for or the purchase price.
Anything else?
Yeah, has to pay ground rent of £500 a year, you know, and other restrictions. It's actually a pretty short lease. It's only just over 100 years. So actually, depending on how long we keep hold of the property for, we may have to think about purchasing the lease.
So loads of stuff in there, which obviously, Chris, you regret that you didn't read. And I know it's not going to help you now, but that's why we say read the legal pack. You know, we go on about it, and it's boring to some people, but that's what can happen. I
didn't realise that was even possible. So, yeah, lesson learned. And
that's it. That's it, Simon, isn't it? Lesson learned. You've done it the once, you ain't going to do it again.
No, definitely
it's
not.
As simple
definitely
as that.
read the legal pack.
Right, Simon's not happy with you, but let's try and get this place turned around.
Yeah.
What made you want to buy this one then, in regards to property itself?
Just because it's a good size, a nice area for schools and transport links and shops and stuff like that. It's got a lot of potential when it's done. We're probably going to rent it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as is, are you making any massive changes in here? Any walls being knocked down, configuration?
So we've got a few issues with damp in the main bedroom that we're going to have to look at with sort of the roof regards to that. We've got a bit of a structural issue in the kitchen with the back wall. So again, we're going to have to look at stuff like that.
Yeah, have you had anything checked out at all, as in structurally?
Nothing like a survey or anything like that. I've had family rounds who are bricklayers, who've sort of give advice on that.
Okay.
So we might have to just go a bit more in depth with that.
Out the back, any major changes? Painting walls?
Yeah, we've got to fill those cracks. We've got to do some painting, make it look presentable.
I know he's standing by your side right at the moment, but he's got steam coming out of his ears. Not only financially.
Very much so. Yeah. We've just got to get on with it, though, haven't we? You know, we've committed to the purchase, and we just got to see it through.
Yeah.
So timescale then, Si?
I would say 3 months should all be completed within that timescale.
Yeah, I'm quite confident. Yeah.
I think we're allocated a budget of 5,000. I think 5,000 should cover it. Chris will be doing most of the work himself, so I'm confident we should come within budget.
Yeah, we've got a good team of people, so we should be able to keep money tight on this one.
Brilliant. Which is it's going to have to be that way.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you. I think he's going to need it.
Good luck, because you know sometimes you make those mistakes, and you have to make the mistake to know you not to do it again.
Yeah.
Simon's calmed down a little bit now. The steam's not coming out of his ears, and you've got a job to start with all your pals and your family together.
Yeah. We can't wait to get cracking. Yeah.
Good on you. Listen, I wish you both all the best. And next time, view the property and read the legal pack.
I will.
Please.
Definitely, I will.
This is a good-sized house which Chris and his pals are going to turn into a lovely family home for someone to rent. But that's not the story. It's all about read the legal pack and view the property. That's it. It's so important, so there's no nasty surprises at all. Financial ones especially. Right, I've got it off my chest. You can find out how they get on later in the programme.
From the centre of London, but it feels like we're apart from London. It's got a sort of a villagey countryside feel to it. And a lot of local people think that's down to the fact that there's no tube station here in Dulwich. Could be right. And the property I'm here to see, it's a 2-bedroom garden flat, and it had a guide price of £400,000. Let's go inside and see. A spacious corridor. Polystyrene tiles on the ceiling in here. They're dangerous, fire hazard, they've got to come out. And also that would then reveal that cornice work, which is really nice. It smells badly of damp in here, and don't have to look far to see the problem. That's all the fungus growing from the condensation. It's all gone rotten there. And the reason for that is there's not enough air circulation, fresh air. So it needs a couple of permanent air bricks to allow fresh air to come in here and prevent that happening again. These have all got to be replaced. They're past saving. And as for the decor colour, deep purple, I think, is more suited to a rock band than it is to nice, calm decoration. And this is an odd place to put a radiator just by the door. And normally, you'd put radiators under the window because you don't normally have furniture there. And also, it allows the flow of air to move from coming by the window and makes the whole room nice and warm so that the warm air circulates. So that needs to be removed from there and a new one. Want some plastering and redecorating. Then we're down here, the bathroom. There's obviously a problem because the ceiling's dropped. So there's a water leak somewhere from upstairs in the other flat, so that'll have to be remedied before this is repaired. It needs a new bathroom suite, and it's funny the way it's laid out. It probably needs reconfiguring. And what we've got here? Basement space. Now, sometimes you can be really lucky with the basement because it's almost full height, which has to be 2.2 metres. And sometimes you just have to dig out a little bit and tank it, put a membrane down, concrete it. But to use it as a livable room, you have to have natural light from a window. So you'd have to dig out the front and put a window in. But you could use this space here, and this could quite easily be adapted and made into a utility space. Yeah, I think it'd be quite nice. So, good night, you. Right, this must be the main reception room. Oh, that's odd. There's a big copper pipe running along the ceiling. Let me chase it. Oh, yeah, and it runs and goes up. So this pipe on this wall below the ceiling feeds the flat above. So that'll have to be rerouted and it'll have to go in the ceiling space. That fireplace has got to come out. What's in here? Well, this is the kitchen. It's a galley kitchen, all on one side, and it's well past its sell-by date. That's got to be ripped out and replaced. And I think if this were mine, I would take this wall out and have this as open plan kitchen, dining and living space, all as one. Change the doors, they're cheap doors, put proper doors on, and change this door for a fully glazed one just to bring in a bit more light. Floor covering up right throughout the flat because, yeah, they're all cream crackered. The only thing is, this is a shared back garden, so you'd have to work out with your neighbour which part of the garden's yours and which part is theirs. But it would turn either side, it still gives you a big lump of garden space. So you can be creative, and there's always room for a bottle of something sparkling with one or two tinted glasses.
Champagne and candlelit evenings, clinking of glasses and passionate glances, the moments I'll always remember.
Well, that sounds good to me, but there's still a way to go before you can put your feet up and relax with the current state of the flat and the garden. But if you did put in the hard yards, would you be celebrating at the end? Time to find out the thoughts of an expert from the auction house who sold this two-bed flat.
I think it's an amazing property. There's huge potential here. Once it's been refurbished, you know, it's going to be a very desirable property. It's on a lovely road in a very good location, especially with all the outdoor space, the large garden that it's got. I think it will have huge demand when it hits the market.
So, if the flat is bought for anywhere near that guide price of £400,000, what profit could be made once renovated on the sales and rental markets?
So once this property's been fully refurbished and it's been done up to a nice standard, I think it would probably rent for somewhere in the region of £1,800 to £1,900 per calendar month. And for sales, you'd probably be looking at a sale price, depending on the standard you do it up to, of around £600,000.
So, a great flat to go for if you're not turned off by the £400,000 price tag. I know there's lots of stuff to do, but with a bit of creative thinking, some reconfiguration and some really good decorating, this could turn out to be a very profitable venture. And it's in a really sought-after, desirable area. So let's see who wasn't turned off by the challenge when it went under the hammer.
This lot was part of a remote auction with bids taking place online.
Sold.
The successful bid of £470,000 was made by AJ. No stranger to the auction house, AJ has several years of property development under his belt. He met Tommy to tell him all about his latest project.
Well, firstly, AJ, can I congratulate you on your purchase?
Thank you very much.
What did you buy this for? What was the reason?
Just as a project, really. Just do it up and look to either sell it on or rent it out on the market.
Is this what you do for a living?
Yes,
Are you
I
a builder or a developer?
Not just a developer. I've got a partner that sort of work with me.
OK.
We do a few projects every year.
And how did you get the bug?
Funny enough, when I was 16, 17, I used to watch this show and always wanted to do up the houses and...
So we inspired you?
Pretty much, yeah, I would say
Oh, that's
that.
good.
Yeah.
And how has it been so far? Has it been a success? Have you enjoyed it?
It has been pretty good for the last 2-3 years.
Right.
And I like doing this on a daily basis.
So how many a year do you need to turn over, you think?
Well, we are active in every auction, so which is about 10 a year. So it's just depending on the right deal.
That's a lot of property.
We try to do as much as we can in a year.
Yeah. I think this was wasn't too bad a buy. I mean, the guide price was 400,000.
Yeah.
Which would make a few people wince, but you actually had to pay, was it 470?
470, yeah.
Were you happy with paying that?
Yeah, that was about my limit.
Right,
So I wasn't going to go any further than that, yeah.
Right. And what do you intend to spend as a budget?
Well, currently the budget's around 45 to 50,000.
Oh, so it's a fair budget. What do you intend to do? Can I ask for that money?
We are pretty much doing the whole thing again.
Stripping it back?
Stripping it back on, yeah. And new boiler, new electric, everything brand new.
Will you take that wall out from the kitchen?
Yeah, that's the plan. And make it open plan, yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, it needs to, because it's very confined at the moment.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, so give it a nice look.
That'll appeal to a much broader audience as well.
Yeah.
You're going to do the garden up nice as well?
We are going to also do the garden up.
The garden might be on the to-do list, but first of all, AJ has to establish which half belongs to his flat. When it comes to doing the work, he'll try and bring in builders he's worked with before.
Do you have any family members involved?
Yeah, my dad's involved as well. And
your dad?
Yeah.
In developing?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, right. Is he experienced?
Yeah, he has a fair amount of experience, so we sort of work as a team.
Oh, that's good. Me and my dad used to work as a team.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, can't go wrong with that.
I'm looking forward to how this is going to pan out.
Yeah, well, it's not going to take that long. We're hoping to get this done in 6 to 8 weeks.
But I'll keep my fingers crossed for you.
Yeah.
Because hopefully it all goes really, really smooth.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be too long.
AJ's only 23, but he sure knows what he wants and how to get it. His dad's behind him all the way, and he has a team of tried and tested builders ready to start all the work. Well, what's he going to do? Is he going to sell it or is he going to rent it? And what's it going to look like with all the alterations and all the building work completed? You can find that later in the show.
Coming up in the West London borough of Hillingdon, this property is missing a few basics. At the moment, there is no kitchen. And back in Dulwich, it seems they've opted for a bit more than just a basic refurb.
We went for the high spec in the kitchen and the bathroom.
Back now to Liverpool and a 3-bed mid-terrace. Along with being on a busy road, there were some obvious issues with the house.
A crack right at the bottom of this air vent there. It goes all the way to the window, then it comes out the bottom of the windowsill as well.
There were also some damp issues from a leaky roof. But it was the less obvious problems that caught out Chris and his dad Simon, who purchased the house for £75,000, sight unseen and legal pack unread. Something we advise you never do.
It's a mistake.
There are lots of restrictive covenants, meaning that he'll have to pay 1% of the value of the property or the purchase price for every year that he owns it, at the time of sale.
I know he's standing by your side right at the moment, but he's got steam coming out of his ears.
Feel the steam around me.
As a leasehold property, there was ground rent to pay and additional legal costs. So Simon's steam levels kept rising. But Chris had done a few refurbs before and was confident that with a budget of £5,000 and 3 months' work, he could still come out of this with a smile on his face. Now, 5 months on, we're back. Well, first impressions are good. Let's hope it continues inside.
So downstairs we started off by blocking up the kitchen window, which will give us a bit more space for units. Originally we painted all the walls white, give it a nice blank canvas. We put some nice neutral grey carpets of a decent quality upstairs. And then when we found really good tenants, they've actually gone themselves to decorate to a very high standard, and we're very pleased with what they've done, and it's made it look really nice.
What a bonus having a handy tenant. They have really made it their own in the 3 months they've been here. And in fairness to Chris, he did lay the groundwork to make this house a home by having the roof fixed, the new kitchen fitted, new floor laid, and he sorted out the bathroom to prepare this as a blank canvas ready for the tenants to paint on. And what about the outside space?
We did give it a good pressure wash outside, all the patio and stuff. And I know in the future, the tenants actually intends, one of the tenants is a landscape gardener, so he's going to put his own touches on, maybe put some artificial grass down and stuff like that in the future.
So again, a space that will be improved by the tenant's personal touch. And it looks like by finding the right tenant, they've dug themselves out of a bit of a hole.
Our original intention was probably to flip this property, turn it around as quickly as possible. Because of the covenants that really restricted what we were going to do going forward, we decided to get a tenant in. Really pleased that we made that decision, because it looks like they're here for the long haul. And, you know, it's probably a beneficial move.
In other good news, with the roof fixed, there's no more damp. And the crack was just historic movement and has now been sorted out. All of which came as a pleasant surprise to Simon.
This is actually the first time I've been back in the property since we filmed with Dion all that time ago, and I'm incredibly impressed with the work that Chris has done and with the work that the tenants have done. It's certainly exceeded my expectations.
From steaming, he's almost beaming about it. But how much did it cost Chris to put a smile back on his dad's face?
Overall, we spent about 6,000, I think, give or take. Again, I managed to get a second-hand kitchen through the internet, so we managed to keep the costs down there. I managed to get a lot of the flooring sort of at a reduced cost, so that really helped with the budget as well.
But along with the £6,000 refurb cost, Chris was caught out by other fees that amounted to £8,000. So along with his £75,000 purchase price, he's looking at around 90 grand in total. Despite all the unforeseen issues, has this been a good purchase? What does the agent that saw it last time think?
I think the layout of the property is good overall. Location's good. It's got good, easy transport links into the city centre. It's great for families here. There's lots of shops, restaurants, that sort of thing. Very close to Anfield, so it's good for Liverpool fans as well. But in terms of the layout of the house as well, it's a very good size for a family looking for good size accommodation.
Clearly, this property is now let. But what do the numbers look like on a house Chris had put £90,000 into?
My estimated resale value would be £130,000. My estimated rental value would be £850 per calendar month.
Yeah, so we were happy with the figures. We're actually achieving £850 a month rent. Again, the sale price of 130,000 sounds about right. We're quite pleased with that as well. So we know that in the future, hopefully, we might make a good return.
Chris's takeaway from this one.
When we first bought it, I was very sort of stressed, disappointed, because it wasn't going the way I'd hoped it had. But now it's a different scenario. We can look back, we're getting a good return on it. It's gone fairly smoothly, so overall quite pleased now.
Yes, Chris, but what about not reading the legal pack and buying sight unseen?
With this one, it's been a big learn. Definitely read the legal pack, seek some advice, do your research.
That's good advice, because next time, Chris, it might not work out so well.
But I'm a lucky man.
It's that two-bed ground floor maisonette, which had a guide price of £130,000. Let's go take a look. So, oh, this is nice. You've got a little porch area, so enough space to put your shoes, your boots, your umbrella, your coats, which is nice, down the hallway. Now, according to the floor plan, this is bedroom number 2. I can see signs of mould, but good news, double glazing, so that's really good. Central heating is there, but it's old, needs to be replaced, like the floors. This is your master bedroom. You've got storage, again, central heating. I can see big signs of mould there as well, but once again, good floors. Then, to my left, I've got a really spacious, large lounge. Really, really nice. You've got your separate toilet and your bathroom. Could you merge them together? I don't mind them being separate, actually, and then into the final room, which must be the kitchen, because I can see a washing machine. Now, it's not a bad size. You're overlooking a small bit of garden. You know, perhaps, you know, you have your sink or your cupboards. You could even probably have a breakfast bar there, all of your sort of shelves. It could be really, really nice. But at the moment, there is no kitchen. And that could prove very difficult to get a mortgage. This property really is a blank canvas, with no structural problems being the main plus. Unfortunately, it needs everything else doing to it. The separate bathroom and toilet could benefit from being combined, but space is something that the living room has plenty of, along with the beautiful focal point of a bay window. The bedrooms, though, have seen better days. Once the windows and a new heating system are put in place, the mould should be a thing of the past. The kitchen looks out to the garden, and there's plenty of room for your worktops, cupboards, and maybe even that breakfast bar. But the old water tank and heater will need to be replaced with a modern and efficient system. Well, so far, I'd say this flat is looking pretty good, but it does come with a bit of a sting in its tail, because it only has a short lease of 41 years. Now, to extend that short lease, that's going to cost thousands of pounds. It's definitely going to be pricey, and you'd have to talk to the freeholder. So I only hope whoever's going to buy this property has factored that into their budget. Another auction lot and another lease to consider, and this one could cost several £1,000s to extend, but it will add value, so it's worth looking into. Now, this property does come with a little bit of outside space. In fact, it's kind of on a diagonal like that, but there's enough space to park a car, and then you've got all of this. So it's not massive, but, you know, if you cut back all of that hedgerow, you've got enough space to have lawn, patio, maybe some potted plants. It's quite private. I can see a bistro table with the chairs. All in all, this is a bonus. For the guide price of only £130,000, this maisonette feels like a bit of a bargain, filled with untapped potential. To get an expert's opinion, we invited along a local estate agent.
So it's a very quiet street, very family orientated, very close to local amenities and equally very close to Heathrow.
But what does he make of this currently very bare property?
I think it's a very good start-up property, to be honest with you. You've got 2 good-sized double bedrooms. Equally, you have a decent-sized living room, great potential, good-sized kitchen area, and it's a great stepping stone to get yourself on the ladder.
With all that in mind, what would the potential resale value be once renovated?
If this property were to come to the market in a very good condition, fully renovated, I would put this on the market for £335,000. On the rental side, this property would achieve anywhere between £1,150 to £1,200 per calendar month.
Well, I think this is a decent flat and in a very convenient location. But unfortunately, there's one small problem, or maybe even 2, because as well as a total refurbishment, there's also that issue of the short lease to contend with, which will be costly. But who didn't let that put them off? Let's find out as it went under the hammer. This lot was part of a remote auction with bids taking place online.
You've also so well done.
For £150,000, £20,000 over the guide price, the successful bidder was D. I caught up with him to find out his plans for this 2-bed maisonette. Well, Dee, it's lovely to meet you. Congratulations.
Thank you, lovely to meet you.
So, how was the auction for you?
Actually, it was my 15-year-old son that I let loose to buy this online, correct?
What? So, hold on a second. Now, this is taking another twist.
Yeah.
Your 15-year-old son was with you and you said to him, go on then.
Yeah, so it was summer holidays.
Yeah.
Carl is his name, and he's taken an interest in what I do. And yeah, I said, right, this is the budget, this is how you do it. He went ahead, and I gave him a budget. I kind of sat in the background, he got it.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, is that what you hope, that Carl will join you in the business? Or?
Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, this is me, my brother and my sister-in-law. And yeah, that's the ultimate goal, okay? You know,
yeah.
what we do, we want to pass on to the next generation.
So that is what you do? Is that what you've always done?
No, I'm an engineer by trade.
Okay.
I was doing this full-time for 2.5 years now.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I left that job to pursue this.
So how much did Carl pay, and were you happy with what Carl paid?
Very
for
happy
the
with what Carl paid. Carl paid 150,000 for this.
Yeah.
I gave him a budget of 160, and yeah, it was high fives as soon as the hammer fell.
Well, this might sound a little risky, letting his son Carl buy the property. Dee was close at hand and had done his research, read the legal pack, and knew all about the short lease and what action he needed to take to get it extended.
So in between, from exchange of contracts, which is the hammer fall, we have to issue a notice to the freeholder. I got my surveyors in prior. They've kind of estimated a price. Now, that goes off to the freeholder, and then there's a process to be followed.
Right.
That process could take up to 6 months. They'll come with a reasonable figure.
Yeah.
And we'll extend the lease and move on.
And so what is the plan for the property?
So, as you can see, look around, it's a full refurb.
Yeah.
To the point, all the wiring's got to come out.
Yeah.
Full replumb. You probably can't see here, but there is wallpaper coverings here. So that's the extra work there. Wallpaper's got to come out. Bathrooms, kitchens, everything.
Everything,
Top to bottom. I think the only thing that will stay is probably the windows.
Yeah, good that you got the double glazing.
Double glazing and the secondary.
And the secondary.
Because we're so close to the airport, correct.
So you are going to do the full refurb. You talked about high standard. What are you looking at? Are you looking at, you know, sort of neutral tones? Are you going to go a bit sort of monochrome? Are you going to go modern? Are you going to...
No, modern stroke neutral. Most of the fixtures and fittings I've already got. This is what I do. So, you know, as soon as the hammer fell, I'd already started planning. You know, kitchens have been delivered and other bits and pieces are stored away in storage. Hopefully, my guys will start on this in the next 2 weeks.
Wow.
And yeah, and as we go along, you know, I'll decide, right, okay, you know, this room we're gonna do this, and this room we're gonna do that. I'm kind of the project manager. You know, I don't get my hands dirty. I kind of just from the background say this. And I've worked with my guys before. They've done a few jobs for me. So they kind of know what I expect, and I know what they're going to deliver.
And then what's the time scale then for...
So when they actually get in, 4 weeks, I'm hoping.
4 weeks, Dee?
Yeah, 4 weeks, I'm hoping.
And then what about the all-important budget?
This one's going to probably hit me for about 20,000.
Right.
Which is high.
Is it?
Which is high for me.
Right. Somehow, I think it's going to work because of your experience and, of course, because of Carl. So, you know, it's really lovely to have a chat with you, and I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, Dee is an experienced property developer, and it's lovely that he's showing his young son, Carl, the ropes. So this shouldn't be a long, drawn-out project for Dee. But with that ambitious timescale of just 4 weeks, will he be able to turn it around? And as for that lease extension, how expensive will it end up being? Well, you can find out later in the programme. Well, earlier we saw how one of our buyers got on, but what about the other two? Have they been firing on all cylinders, or have they run out of steam? Let's go back and take a look. We're back in Dulwich and at this 2-bed garden flat that was guided at £400,000. Tommy easily sniffed out the work that was needed here.
It smells badly of damp in here, and don't have to look far to see the problem. That's all the fungus growing from the condensation. It's all gone rotten there, and the reason for that is there's not enough air circulation, fresh air. So it needs a couple of permanent air bricks to allow fresh air to come in here and prevent that happening again. These have all got to be replaced.
That wasn't the only water-related issue Tommy found in this property, which was lacking some serious TLC.
There's obviously a problem because the ceiling's dropped. So there's a water leak somewhere from upstairs in the other flat, so that'll have to be remedied before this is repaired.
We have got to get it together now.
Ready to tackle all this was property developer AJ. He bought it for £470,000 and planned to gut the place with a healthy budget of £45,000 to £50,000.
Will you take that wall out from the kitchen?
Yeah, that's the plan. And make your open plan. Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, it needs to, because it's very confined at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so give it a nice look.
That'll appeal to a much broader audience as well.
Yeah.
There was a lot of work needed, but 2 months on, we're back for a look. The hall is light and airy. The deep purple paint job and the damp has been remedied. Replaced with contrasting colours and fixtures. The rundown bathroom has had a facelift with marble effect tiles and luxury fittings. But what about AJ's big plans for a kitchen diner? Wow, that's something special. It really is a stunning modern space.
To make your open plan, we had to get rid of the stud wall, so we didn't have to take any regulations or any permissions. We went for the high spec in the kitchen and the bathroom. And we also went for sort of matte black radiators, switches and taps to give it a nice colour contrast within the house, and it just looks, you know, modern. And
The inside looks great, but what about the outside? There were some issues with the layout of the back garden.
initially, the garden was it wasn't split into two gardens because the flat upstairs has their own garden, and so we put a fence around our garden, give it a nice finish, something to enjoy during the summer.
It sure is. What a transformation. AJ wasn't sure whether he was going to sell or rent the flat. So, what's the plan?
We have actually already put it on the market, and we have some offers in place, which we are considering, and hopefully in the next couple of months it'll be sold, so yeah.
A lot of effort has gone into making this flat a beautiful home, but who helped bring it to life?
We had a contractor who did everything, but me and my team, which is my dad and partner, we looked over things, overseed most of the project, and yeah, so we shared time in between our day-to-day stuff to get it done.
But did he manage to stay within his original budget of £45,000 to £50,000?
I believe we stayed around that figure, and which is always good in terms of when you sell the property.
We know
An asking price of £650,000.
Yeah, I think that's about right. That's what we listed for, and the offers are in that sort of range. So I think that's pretty much right on the money. Back, fresh, and ready to go again.
We're back in Sipson, close to Heathrow Airport, where I saw a two-bed maisonette guided at £130,000, which had a few issues. This must be the kitchen, because I can see a washing machine. Perhaps, you have your sink or your cupboards. You could even probably have a breakfast bar there. It could be really, really nice. But at the moment, there is no kitchen. And that was one thing that could make it difficult to get a mortgage. But there was another. I only hope whoever's going to buy this property has factored that into their budget. It was engineer and property developer Dee who had these obstacles to look forward to. He bought the place for £150,000. Or did he?
Actually, it was my 15-year-old son that I let loose to buy this online, correct?
What? So hold on a second. Now, this is taking another twist.
He's taken an interest in what I do. And yeah, I said, right, this is the budget. This is how you do it. He went ahead. House, you're going to get these little mould issues. So here we decided, right, let's put some vents in. Hopefully it won't come back again.
Well, let's hope Dee's right and it's gone for good. But what did he do about that short lease?
There was a bit of to and fro, which the surveyors deal with themselves. But ultimately, 66,100, that's a great price to get another 90 years on top of what we had. So on here now, we've got 137 years on the lease and 0 ground rent, or peppercorn ground rent.
Well, it might have cost Dee a bit of money, but I think it sounds like a decent result. Is Dee's son, Carl, happy with the outcome of his first purchase?
He's seen the progress through. Unfortunately, he's doing his GCSEs. He's been under a bit of pressure, exams the last 2-3 weeks. He's going into mocks. Yeah, his name's on this one. This is the one he's bought. This is going to be his kind of flagship. This is the first one.
Well, it might have been Carl's first one, but Dee is an experienced hand now. So, is he pleased with how his son's purchase has turned out?
Overall, I'm really happy. Compared to what we started with, yeah, I'm happy.
And so he should be. He clearly has left no stone unturned in this property. Dee has added new flooring and wall lights throughout. The boiler's been upgraded and new radiators have been added. But who did all the work?
I project manage. Historically, I'd get different tradesmen in, line it all up, one after the other. Materials I'd get in, I don't really leave it to builders because it's what I want to purchase.
With an initial budget of £20,000, just how much did Dee spend in the end?
It's come in at £19,872. And the reason I say that, I'm quite strict with spreadsheets. I know where every single penny's gone. And I do that really because when it comes to, this is my business at the end of the day. When it comes to doing accounts and my accountant says, right, how much did that one cost you? How much did that one cost you? It's there, it's all on a spreadsheet.
And that final spreadsheet with the purchase price, budget and cost of renewing the lease should show an all-in spend just shy of £236,000. So was it money well spent? What does a local estate agent think?
The standard of the property is very, very good. You can tell they've put in a lot of effort into how they've thought it through. The colours and everything work really well with the property. You've got a lot of light coming in, natural light, which is great for properties. It's definitely right for the area, especially if you're going to be looking to sell or rent. You've got the options of both, and it'll appeal to both markets.
Dee has invested a total of just under £236,000. But how much could he get in return if he decided to sell?
You'd be looking at achieving the sale price of £320,000 to £330,000.
With a sale, yeah, you could probably push for more. My strategy is not really sales. It's refinance, move on to the next model.
That top figure of £330,000 could mean a potential profit of just over £94,000, minus the usual taxes and fees. But what about the rental market?
So the property will rent for £1,300 per calendar month to £1,350 per calendar month.
Not bad, not bad. So I am considering a long-term let. I've got a very good tenant that's interested at 1375. It's not an agreed set deal yet, but yeah, well, you know, that's about right.
The agent's top figure of £1,350 per calendar month would give a yield of nearly 7%. So what's next for Dee after this? And will Carl be involved too?
Next lot of auctions is in February. I'll come back refreshed, and then yeah, we'll pick up a few more stock to work on next year. Kyle will definitely be let loose because he finishes his GCSEs next year, and yeah, I'm going to be definitely keeping him busy.
Well, in the ever-changing world of property development, there's always something new to learn. So we'll have plenty more advice next time as more bold bidders brave the auction room, only on Homes Under the Hammer. Goodbye.
Slow, but somehow, yo, we still flow. Different roots, but the same tree. She ain't like me, but she completes me.
Need love when we connect. All our flaws get full respect. You're the spark in my everyday. Different, but we find our way. Different roads, we find our way. You got depth when we fuck when you, then love begins. You need love when we connect. All our flaws get full respect. You're the spark in my everyday. Different, but we find our way. Yeah, we find it, no doubt. You need love. We dance through storms, ride the highs and all the norms. If this is love, I'm diving in. You're my rhythm, you're my win.
You bring laughter when I'm tense. You make sense when life's intense. You don't need to change your tone. With you, I'm never alone. You got depth beneath that grin. With you, real life begins. We don't fight the way we are. Opposites that raise the bar.
Through, unfortunately, he's doing his GCSEs. Yeah, he's been under a bit of pressure. Exams the last 2-3 weeks. He's going into mocks. Yeah, his name's on this one. You know, this is the one he's bought. This is going to be his kind of flagship. This is the first one.
Well, it might have been Carl's first one, but Dee is an experienced hand now. So, is he pleased with how his son's purchase has turned out?
Overall, I'm really happy. Compared to what we started with, yeah, I'm happy.
And so he should be. He clearly has left no stone unturned in this property. Dee has added new flooring and wall lights throughout. The boiler's been upgraded and new radiators have been added. But who did all the work?
I project manage. Historically, I'd get different tradesmen in, line it all up, one after the other. Materials I'd get in, I don't really leave it to builders because it's what I want to purchase.
With an initial budget of £20,000, just how much did Dee spend in the end?
It's come in at £19,872. And the reason I say that, I'm quite strict with spreadsheets. I know where every single penny's gone. And I do that really because when it comes to, this is my business at the end of the day. When it comes to doing accounts and my accountant says, right, how much did that one cost you? How much did that one cost you? It's there, it's all on the
area, especially if you're going to be looking to sell or rent, you've got the options of both and it'll appeal to both markets. Achieving the sale price of £320,000 to £330,000.
With a sale, yeah, you could probably push for more. My strategy is not really sales. It's refinance, move on to the next model.
That top figure of £330,000 could mean a potential profit of just over £94,000, minus the usual taxes and fees. But what about the rental market?
So the property will rent for £1,300 per calendar month to £1,350 per calendar month.
Not bad, not bad. So I am considering a long-term let. I've got a very good tenant that's interested at 1375. It's not an agreed set deal yet, but yeah, well, that's about right.
The agent's top figure of £1,350 per calendar month would give a yield of nearly 7%. So what's next for Dee after this? And will Carl be involved too?
Next lot of auctions is in February. I'll come back refreshed, and then yeah, we'll pick up a few more stock to work on next year. Kyle will definitely be let loose because he finishes his GCSEs next year, and yeah, I'm going to be definitely keeping him busy.
Well, in the ever-changing world of property development, there's always something new to learn. So we'll have plenty more advice next time as more bold bidders brave the auction room, only on Homes Under the Hammer. Goodbye.